that's when you'll see the question on the board behind us. And it's the first person to hit this buzzer, all right?
Break it, you break it.
Good. What you'll do is you be right there, you look up there, and we'll show you the question. Ready? Here we go. All right. Name a Christmas dessert that you stuff your face with.
Cake.
Give me cake. Oh! Okay, now Matthew has a chance to answer. Give me pie. It is pie. All right. Do you want to pass or play?
I'll pass.
You pass? They're going to pass. So they're going to pass to you guys, which means we'll go straight to Emma. Oh, wait, he says no. Oh, yeah. Okay, sorry, that means we go to them. Okay, all right. Jeff, this is how it goes. Name a Christmas dessert that you stuff your face with.
Banana pudding.
Banana pudding. We got pudding up there, okay. Jake. See, we go way overboard at Unmasked, okay? We got all the bells and whistles. Jake, go ahead. Ham!
That's not a dessert!
Ashton, go ahead. Christmas dessert you stuff your face with.
I'm gonna do cookies.
Cookies! There you go. Andrew! What are you going to say?
Brownies.
Can you say brownies? Oh! Two X's. That means the third X. If you do not get this, the women will get a chance to steal. So women, you be talking about what you think it'll be. Okay, Ben. Give me Christmas dessert that you stuff your face with.
Ice cream.
Can you give me ice cream? All right. So, Emma, this will be yours. And for the steal, can you give me fruitcake? Oh, the women take round one. Wow. That was clever. All right. Sydney, come on up. Jeff, come on up. The last one? Don't worry about it. What was the last one? It was chocolate. Chocolate was the last one. Okay. Alright, ready? Buzzers ready? We surveyed 100 people. Here's your question. Name a movie you must watch before Christmas. Home Alone!
Ooh, that's actually not
We're going to hide the question, then we're going to Home Alone! Oh, Sydney has a chance. If you can get a number 3, 2, or 1 answer, you've got this.
Probably wrong.
Give me Elf!
Yeah, you might got it.
I was gonna say that!
2! Pass and play, women. Good job. Oh, we're going to Henry Delaney. Give me the Grinch! Oh, number 3, Della. Here's the movie you've got to see before Christmas.
10
Polar Express! Oh! Not up there. Piper!
Oh my gosh!
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer! Oh! My goodness. Men, get ready. If you do not get okay, give me number 1 answer. Ashley, you got it. Go for it.
No.
Give me a Christmas Story. Oh, last one. That was still good. You want to take as many off the board. Bailey. Home Alone 2. Boom for sequels. All right, men. This is your chance to steal and tie the game. Matthew.
Christmas Vacation.
Give me Christmas Vacation. Give me number 5. Santa Claus. Give me number 6. Frosty. And number 7. The Year Without Santa Claus. Year Without Santa Claus. One of those stop motion classics. All right, who's next? Come on up here. Jake and Laney. Jake and Laney's next. All right, we surveyed 100 people. It is tied at 1. Surveyed 100 people. Name a place that's open on Christmas Day. Jake, give me Walmart.
Yeah, get it.
Whoa! Laney, give me a place that's open on Christmas Day. It can be a kind of place, anything.
What?
Oh, really? Give me Rock City. Oh, okay.
Waffle House.
Give me Waffle House.
Let's go. Waffle House.
Alright, man, you want to take this? Okay. We're going to Ashton.
Wait.
Ashton.
Jeremy, we'd like to wait. Just a second. Do we want to take this or not?
No!
We don't know what we got there.
I don't want to take this. This is
You want to give it to them? Alright, so let me clarity before you pass. It's name a it could be a kind of place, not just a place. You want to pass it? Okay. Okay, so they passed it to you.
They have one.
Wait.
Give me a movie theater.
No, the movie theaters aren't open.
The movie theaters are open. Speaking as a manager of AMC, movie theaters are open on Christmas Day. I had to work there. So, okay. We have the top 4 answers, Emma. Give me a place that's open on Christmas Day. Can we get McDonald's? Oh! Hey, that was the first answer. Yeah, that was the first answer. Sorry. Sydney, give me a place that's open on Christmas Day. What's open on Christmas Day? Who's working? Give me Huddle House. Okay. Laney, give me a place. Men, get ready to steal. You gotta get something here. Give me IHOP.
Let's go.
No.
Steve, we would like hospitals.
Name is Jay Harvey. Oh man. Men have 2, women have 1. Give me number 1 answer. What was open? A gas station, an airport, and a hotel. All right, good job, guys. All right, give me Ashton. Give me Della. Come on. All right. We surveyed 100 people. To win the Christmas decorating contest, your house must have what? Lights. It must have lights. Give me lights. Lights in the house. You want to take this or not?
Play.
They want to play. Okay. Andrew. To win the Christmas decorating contest, your house must have what? Go.
J-Ski. That was your name, right?
Jay Harvey.
J. Harvey.
Oh my goodness.
Trees.
Give me trees.
Grass.
A house.
What? No trees.
What else?
Man.
Garland.
Garland.
What is that?
Garland. All right, women, get ready. They have 1 answer on the board. All right, Matthew. Matthew, to win the Christmas decorating contest, your house must have what? Snow. Give me snow. Snow/fake snow. For all you that live in Florida. Jeb, to win the Christmas decorating contest, what must you have at your house? You gotta have reindeer at your house. There it is. Sleigh reindeer. Jake.
Yeah.
Do we gotta have Santa? What? No! Women for the steal. Who am I at? Piper? Piper? To win the Christmas decorating contest, your house must have what?
Shut up.
Snowman? Inflatable snowman! Inflatable snowman! Women have tied this thing up. Give me number 3. Nativity scene and a wreath. That's what we're going for. All right. Andrew and
We're still way ahead.
Piper. Piper, come on up, Piper. All right. We're at round 5. We are tied at 2 apiece. There we go. We're COVID now, so this is as far as we can. Okay, we surveyed 100 people. Name something that you want that is too big to fit down the chimney. Give me a piano. Hey, this is it. Okay, Piper, you have 3 answers that are better than that. Can you give me what is something that you want desperately that is too big to fit down the chimney? Give me a car. Oh, women, what do you want to do? You want to play? You want to play? All right, Ashley. Ashley, name something that you want that's too big to fit down the chimney. Give me a boat! Oh, you want a boat? Oh my goodness! Hey, a boat! Bailey, give me something that you want for Christmas too big to fit down the chimney.
That was her answer. That was the answer.
Okay, go ahead.
A bike.
A bicycle! Oh man, Emma. All right. No strikes on the board for the women. What is something that you want that's too big to fit down the chimney? What was it? A new house! Oh, right there! Oh my goodness! They're just sweeping the board. Sydney, give me something you want for Christmas that's too big to fit down the chimney. Give me a trampoline! Oh! Little did you know that trampoline was number 9 up there. But that's unfortunately didn't go. It landed on number 9. Lainey, give me something you want for Christmas too big. A what? Give me a television! Oh! We're about to, are the women going to sweep this? Della, give me something too big to fit down the chimney. A what? A 4-wheeler! Give me a 4-wheeler! Oh! Alright, Piper, to get as much as you get, there's only 2 answers left, so you guys have a good shot at this. Well, give me something that's too big to fit down the chimney.
How big is the chimney?
Just a normal size chimney. Well, a television didn't fit down it, and neither did a piano. So, go ahead. Give me a couch. Any furniture?
Yes, furniture.
Oh! Okay, a chance to steal, man. Who am I, a Ben? We got 5 seconds. We need an answer. 4, 3, 2. Give me a truck. No. Give me number 5. A treadmill. Number 8. A pony. Everybody wants a pony. Everybody wants a pony for Christmas. Hey, so the women are ahead 3-2. All right. Yeah, there go my points like normal. This is the ghetto version of it. Okay, so give me the next person. Ashley? Ashley, and we're back to Ben. Ashley, Ben. Women are ahead 3-2. A lot riding on this. We surveyed 100 people, and this is the question. If you joined a group of carolers, what's one song that they expect you to know? Ben? Give me Jingle Bells! Give me Jingle Bells! Oh, no! Jingle Bells is not up there. You're in a group of carolers, what's one song that... Go ahead, Ashley. Give me Silent Night! Oh, it's 3! Nice job! Alright, have a seat. Women, do you want to play? Okay.
Jingle Bells is a
Give me Oh Holy Night! Oh Holy Night? There it is!
Why are you only doing
Emma? Away in the Manger! Uh-oh. Away in the Manger? Is no! Is that's the first one we went in, right? Yeah, they only had 1 X. Sorry, take them all, just 1. Okay, so Cindy, you're in a group of carolers, what's one song that they expect you to know? Rudolph, the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Ooh, Lainey. Lainey, 3 seconds. We wish you a Merry Christmas. There it is. We wish you a Merry Christmas. Okay. They have 1 X left, Sorry, it's okay. Where are we at? Adela! Sorry, two X's. Okay. Adela, you have time, trust me. Name a song that they expect you to know if you're in a carolyn group.
5, 4, 3.
Frosty the Snowman! Oh! Alright, then, your chance to steal. You're in a group of carolers. What's the one song they expect you to know?
Mary, did you know?
Mary, did you know? Oh!
That is a cool.
The women have won round 6, right? So it's 4-2. Give me number 1. Joy to the world. Come on, y'all. Hark the herald angels sing. Away in the manger. Yeah, they had Away in the manger. Sorry about that. But the women have won. You've won. Okay. All right. Give me the next person. Who's next person? Oh, Matthew and Bailey. There we go. All right. All right. We surveyed 100 people. We really did. You stumbled into an elf's closet named something that you expect to find. You stumbled into an elf's closet. Name something you found.
4, 5, ring, ding, ding.
So give me shoes.
You're supposed to have a time limit.
That's what I thought. Nope.
Oh, clean shoes. Women, we've got multiple answers higher. Give me something. You stumbled into an elf's closet. What do you expect to find? Give me a hat. Are we taking this one? Congratulations, guys. The crowd cheering. Okay. You stumbled into an elf's closet. Give me a jacket.
Slash coat.
You have a jacket?
Slash coat.
What?
No! Give me toys! Oh, there we go! Nice job, Jake Ashton.
Tools.
Tools! Give me tools! Oh, there we go! For a clean sweep, Andrew! You stumbled into an elf's closet. What did you expect to find?
Candy canes.
Give me candy canes! Oh, yeah! Oh, wait, there's one more answer. One more answer. Here we go. Women be talking. Women talking. Last one. Ben, you stumbled into an elf's closet. What do you expect to find?
A sled.
Give me a sled! Oh!
Wait, we've only got
Was that the second one? Oh, so you still have one more. You still have one more. Matthew. What? What happened? You good? Okay. Matthew, you stumbled into an elf's closet. What do you find?
It's a guess. Pants.
Give me pants. Give me pants. Oh, man. That's a triple X. Who am I going to? Emma. Emma,
Yeah, why are they not?
you guys have been talking. You guys have the perfect answer. Just save this. You stumbled into an elf's closet. What do you expect to find?
Nothing.
Clothes? Give me clothes! What is the mistake? Wrapping paper! A lot of wrapping. Hey, it is now 4-3. 4-3. Women have a 1-point lead. Give me the next people. Who are the next people? Come on up. This is your first time. Okay. All right. We surveyed 100 people. You find yourself at the scene of Jesus' birth. What do you see?
You're not supposed to play.
Give me an angel.
Bro. That's like the one.
Hey, listen.
Hey, shut up.
I'll take a question.
One thing that's not there.
You stumbled in to the scene of Jesus' birth. What do you see? What do you see?
You see Santa Claus. Santa Claus.
A what? Hey, give me a donkey.
Maybe you were at church.
A donkey.
You showed us beautiful lights.
You gotta stand up here. Stand there. Say shh, shh. Hey, stand there. But Bailey, why are you over here? Get this up here. Alright. Okay. You 1, scene of Jesus' birth. What do you see, Mary? Give me Mary!
Yeah, let's go.
Okay. So what do you got? You what? All right, Jake. Have a seat. Have a seat. Have a seat. Have a seat. Give me Jesus. Okay. You stumble in Jesus' birth. Give me the shepherds. Shepherds. Andrew.
Animals.
Animals. Give me animals. Nice.
He was born in a day. Animals.
The manger.
Give me the manger. Hey, 5 and 6. It all comes down to Matthew and Jeff. Matthew. You stumble onto Jesus' birth. What do you see?
No, it ain't called a barn.
It is called a barn. What do you like?
The shed. The shed.
The shed. Give me the shed.
No, Jesus.
All right, women.
What is
Women,
it?
get ready,
That's
get
not what it is.
ready. Share your answers. Okay. Jeff, you stumble onto Jesus' birth. You got to be very careful with this. You have 1 strike left. What do you see? What do you see? 5 seconds. 4.
Hey.
3. Give me hay! Oh my goodness. Comes down to Jake. Jake? Give me wise men!
Oh, that's holy.
Okay.
Nah, bro, the shepherds and the wise men.
It is Sydney to pull this one back into the
It's Santa
lead.
Claus. It's
You're setting the
Christmas.
scene of Jesus' birth.
Right here. It's Santa Claus.
Go
North
sit
Pole.
down. Go sit down. You're not going to talk her into thinking.
The North Pole.
Give me a stable! No! A star! Oh my goodness! He went out to a manger, yeah. Hey, it is all tied up before! Who's the next? Come on up, Sydney! Jake! Alright. We surveyed 100 people. These are the last 3. Name an animal mentioned in the 12 days of Christmas. Name an animal mentioned in the 12 days of Christmas. Doves! Give me doves!
That's not on there. I'm dropping you, Abby. You're about to catch his hand.
Doves! There you go! Alright, men, pass and play. Play? Okay. 11. This is round 9. You're tied up 4-4. Ashton, give me an animal that was mentioned in the 12 days of Christmas. Give me partridge! There it is. No, 1 person said that. Look at that. 1 person. Go ahead.
Hens a lake.
Hens! Give me hens!
Yes, sir. Wait.
Give me hens? Are they up there?
If they're not on there,
Hey, they're French hens! There they are. Ben, give me geese! There it is! Oh, 2 left.
No, what is it?
Matthew. Give me swans! There they are! You got 1 left! And the cursor's hanging over on top of it. Can you get it? It is 12 days of Christmas. 5 seconds. 4, 3, game first! The men have taken round 9. It's 5-4. Give me the next 2.
Let's go, Ashton. Let's go.
You're making great time, y'all.
I said.
This is it, guys. The last 2 rounds. The men are ahead 5-4. We surveyed 100 people.
You better back up. I'll push you.
And this is the question. Santa can't work next year
I'm a boy.
because he found out he's allergic to what? What? Santa. Can you say that question again? Sorry. She did, yeah. Here's the other question. Is Santa can't work next year because he found out he's allergic to what? Cookies!
Right here.
Ashton. Is he allergic to reindeer? He's allergic to reindeer! Oh no! Okay. Good job. Top two answers. You can't argue with that. Andrew, Santa can't work next year. He found out he's allergic to what?
He's allergic to snow.
He's allergic to snow? Oh, he is allergic to snow. Oh my goodness. Ben, Santa can't work next year. He found out he's allergic to what?
Wrapping.
Wrapping paper! Oh! Matthew, you got 1X. It's fine. Don't flip out yet. You're good.
Hey, Bad Mojo, over this way.
Oh, he's throwing Bailey's throwing.
Bad Mojo. Give it the one we got.
Matthew,
You said what?
is he allergic to toys? No! Women, be ready. This is ready. This is safe. Jim? Elves? Is he allergic to the elves? Oh no! We have answers 4 and 5. Who am I going to? Who? Della.
You're allergic to Santa.
All right. Santa can't work next year because he found out he's allergic to what?
Santa. Santa's allergic to Santa.
Ash! Give me Ash!
What's up?
4. Trees! Give me answer 5. Kids!
I told you it was kids.
All right.
How are you allergic to humans?
The men have 6. The women have 4. The next one is worth 4 points. Let's go! This one's worth 1,000,000 points. This last one. This is worth 1,000,000. All right, ready? Della. Ben, you good? You ready? Getting ready for okay. Okay. She's just wobbling. Don't worry about it. Okay. You ready? 100 people were surveyed. This is the question for the final round. If you have no money, who got that? You did it first? Show me the question again.
It was Della.
What was the question?
If you have no
Superiority.
Name something you can still get this Christmas. Give me love.
It's always cheesy crackle. Come on, man.
Oh my goodness. Can't get love.
Can't give love.
If you have no money, name something you can give.
Oh, no money?
No money.
No, say love.
Name something you can give this Christmas.
Say love.
Give me joy. No.
What can you give, bro? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Nothing.
Give me food. Food's the one. What? Give me shelter. No.
Yes.
You have no money.
Baby, say love.
No money. Name something you can give away this Christmas.
Say love.
It's what makes it
Can you give me clothes?
Okay.
Give me a hug.
What?
Oh, there we go. Oh, the women got something rolling.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
love. You carry
You guys, be thinking.
What are we saying?
Himma, this is your chance.
Hug not encompass love.
2 strikes. You gotta be careful. You don't have any money. What is it? Name something you can give away this Christmas if you don't have any money.
Oh gosh.
Homemade core.
Homemade card. Give me a homemade card.
No.
Listen what hangs in the balance, man. Okay? If you get 2, 3, 4, or 6, you have won the game. If you do not, the women are taking home a big, fat victory. Be together. Time was counted as friendship and company. So that was what we were doing. Time is friendship, spending time with people. You do get a participating trophy. Congratulations, man. Okay.
Let the king of my heart be the mountain where I run, the fountain I drink from. Oh, he is my song. Let the king of my heart be the shadow where I hide, the ransom for my life. Oh, he is my song. You are good. You're good. Oh, you are good. You're good. Oh, you are good. Oh, you are good. You're good. Oh, let the king of my heart be the wind inside my sails, the anchor in the waves. Oh, here's my song. Let the king of my heart be the shadow where I hide, the ransom for my life. Oh, here's my song. My heart be the fire inside my veins, the anchor in the waves. Oh, is my song. Let the king of my heart be the fire inside my veins, the anchor in the waves. Oh, is my song. You are good. You're good. Oh, you are good. You're good. Oh, you are good. You're good. Oh, you are good. You're good. You're never gonna let me down. 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 You are good. You're good. Oh, you are good. You're good. Oh, you are good. You're good. Oh, you Still your love fought for me. You have been so, so good to me. I found no word, you paid it all for me. You have been so, so kind to me. All the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. Oh, it chases me down, fights till I found leaves to 99. I couldn't earn it, I don't deserve it, till you give yourself away. All the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. Yeah. There's no shadow you won't light up, mountain you won't climb up, coming after me. No, you won't kick down, I won't tear down, there's no shadow you won't light up, mountain you won't climb up, coming after me. No, you won't kick down, I won't tear down, coming after me. No shadow you won't light up, mountain you won't climb up, coming after me. So you won't kick down, I won't tear down, coming after me.
God, tonight, again, we're thankful to be here. We're thankful for a church that's allowed us to invade the sanctuary and fog it out and put a whole bunch of lights in here and just blast music and just have fun. But God, more than anything, the reason that they allow us this opportunity is because they believe in us. They believe that we're such a vital part of this church and that students are a life source in this church that can take the gospel into the world and heal a damaged and sinful world. And so this is that moment, God, where you speak through me and somebody hears something that's not just my words, but they're your words. And something is fine-tuned in them and shaped in them and formed so that they can become a more effective disciple for you. So I pray that as we open your word, you would apply it to our minds, that we might not grow shallow, apply it to our hearts, that we might not grow cold, and apply it to our feet, so that when we leave this place, we're not just hearers of your word, but doers also. These things we pray in your holy, holy name. Amen. All right, it is Christmas time. I love Christmas time. I only get 2 weeks to talk about it. So what I did was I built out a big, long sermon, and then I cut it in half. Okay? So this is what's going to happen tonight, is that we're going to spend time together. We're going to introduce the first half of this, and then we'll finish it all up next week. But thanks for being here. I know there's been a lot of hesitation whenever we take 2 weeks off because Abby and I get COVID, and Ashton gets COVID, and we have all sorts of issues. Like, I know we had to take a step back and pause, but as we were in the house, quarantined, just trying to figure out, man, this is not like any other Christmas we've ever had. You know, like we had time to get the house all decorated for Christmas, but in our minds, and I haven't even talked to Abby about this a whole lot, but you know, we're always prepping at Thanksgiving to get ready for Christmas, and this was just a wild year because we were sick the whole time. But now I started to go, you know what? This is what it's all about. It's Christmas time, and Christmas is the birth of Christ. And I always get so focused on the details of Christmas that I miss the big picture sometimes. So this is what I want to talk about tonight and next week, is that if you're somebody that misses the forest for the trees, then you're the kind of person that sees all the little details but never takes a step back to look at the big picture. How does this all fit together? How does the birth of Jesus matter? Shouldn't we only care about what he talks about when he grows up? Right? Like, shouldn't we just care the fact that he died on a cross for us? That seems like all the most vital information. So why are these parts of the birth of Jesus, when Jesus, the Messiah, is coming? And I wish I had... Did anybody have a Bible on them? Like a physical Bible? Did I bring mine in? Oh. Here we go. I did bring it in, didn't I? You ready? See this right here? Let me turn right here. Oh, Zechariah. We got, okay. Oh. St. Matthew. Getting closer.
Jeremy, does he need a regular Bible?
Nope. See, look at this. I got the best illustration ever right here. You see this right here? Right here? In all your Bibles, maybe even your digital ones, you have this spot in between where the Old Testament is right here, and there's a big blank spot right here, and then you turn the page and you start talking about Jesus when he comes into the world. Okay? But listen, this part right here is super important, this blank part. You know why? Because during the time this last page was written and this next page was written, you're talking about 400 years of people waiting patiently, as patiently as you can, 400 years for the birth of the Messiah, for the Messiah to come. And they know he's going to come at some point, and they're hoping it's in their lifetime, right? And we, as Christians, are waiting for Jesus' return. And I hope it's in my lifetime. I think that'd be pretty cool. I don't even mind if I'm in my 30s and he comes back and it's over and he comes to take all of us with him to heaven. Like, I don't mind, because I'm waiting with anticipation that any moment Jesus could come back and everything that used to matter to us, you know, all the things that we buy and all the things that we're waiting for Christmas and everything, all those things don't matter anymore. Because we're waiting. Well, all these guys are waiting for Jesus to come the first time. We're waiting for him to come the second time. But this part right here is incredibly important. You miss the forest for the trees, for all the little details. You miss the big picture. Is what's happening is all these people are waiting, and here's where we're going to be when we start talking about the birth of Jesus. What we're talking about is he comes into the world in a very specific way, to a very specific group of people, and this is what happens. We're going to unpack all that. Now, don't get so caught up in the details that we don't step back often during this to look at the big picture. Why did he come? Well, why does it matter that we know who his parents are and who the people are that helped him come into the world? Everything around him. You guys had some great answers on the question tonight. If you found yourself at the scene of Jesus' birth, what do you see around you? What's going on around you? Well, if you look at all those tiny details, you just go, I know that. I know animals are there because it's a manger scene and they don't have room for them in the inn. So we know that there's these people around and then so many people were like, shepherds were there. And all those are little details. Now take a step back, look at the big picture. Why does that matter? Why does it matter that shepherds were the first people to know, to witness? They're out there just tending their sheep, just like they're always doing, and then all of a sudden, God invades their moment of peace and just following their sheep around at night like they do every day, and then all of a sudden, God invades that and their world is changed forever. That's what we're going to be tonight. Okay? Before Jesus is born, there's two people that we're going to talk about, Zechariah and Elizabeth. And I love this because you know what? When I was your age, nobody ever talked about Zechariah and Elizabeth. To me. Okay? I had a whole mess load of youth pastors. I had 4 during the time that I got into youth group and graduated from youth group. I had 4 different youth pastors. So every one of these guys never told me this. I'll pause for that. They could have. I apologize, Brent, Chris, Blair, and all you guys. I apologize. You probably did talk about this, and I was messing around and I didn't hear it. But Zechariah and Elizabeth are incredibly important to the story. Details. But we're going to take a step back often and look at the big picture. You guys ready? Okay, I put all your the info on there, and I'm going to throw stuff up behind me. If you want to read it off there, you can. If not, you can read it right there on your paper. Let's see if this works. Oh, look at that. Oh, man, look what happened. I did it again. The fonts are all messed up. Trust me, I've never used ugly fonts like that, okay? That is ridiculous, and I apologize. Zechariah, this is where we're at. When Herod was king of Judea, there was a Jewish priest named Zechariah. Zechariah and Elizabeth were righteous in God's eyes, careful to obey all of the Lord's commandments and regulations. They had no children because Elizabeth was unable to conceive, and they were both very old. Okay? Details, okay? Ask me questions, just like I always do. You're free to ask me questions. You're free to throw out stuff that seems odd, okay? You got a lot of details. Right from the very beginning, there are 2 ends of the spectrum that are mentioned that if you didn't pay really close attention, you just totally missed it, okay? Ask me questions. Anything going on? What jumps out to you? Go. Oh, but why would they have not yet? They had no children because Elizabeth was unable to conceive. She couldn't conceive, and now she's older. So now you've got kind of like doubly bad luck. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you were unable to conceive when you were young enough to, but now not only are you not able to conceive, you're also very old. So now it's like, how much of the percentages are of her getting pregnant now? Very low, right? Like super low, okay? Give me something else. Anybody else got anything that seems strange? Go ahead.
They were both righteous in God's eyes and careful to obey all the Lord's commandments. Why would they not be able to have children?
That's a great question. You know why? Because in this time period, everybody thinks that if you're unable to have children, then you must have done something to deserve that. You must have done something wrong. Right? Like, if you were unable to have children and to carry on your family name when you were young enough to have children and you couldn't, then you must have sinned. Remember, they always ask those kind of questions. The disciples do. They walk up to a guy who's blind from birth. What did his parents do that he deserves this? You know, everybody's always looking to blame sin or somebody's wrongdoings on somebody's bad luck. So you would ask that question. That's a perfectly good question. They were still, even though everybody else around them is probably judging them, look at you guys. You guys probably messed up big to not have kids. And they still were very careful. It uses the word right there. Careful to obey all the Lord's commandments and regulations. They were very careful to do that. Anything else jump out? Anything unusual? And right from the very first, it says something that I always pass over because it doesn't ever seem like something that's very important. When Herod was king of Judea, Herod was an evil king, wanted the future Messiah to be dead. That's why he's hunting. He gets the wise men, the magi, to go try to find, like he hires 3 assassins. We assume that it's 3 because they have 3 gifts. But he hires this magi to go hunt the baby Jesus. Like, that's what they're there for, okay? So you guys see the 3 kings at the nativity scene, and you're like, oh, that's so sweet. Well, Herod is thinking that these guys are going to go hunt down Jesus and tell him where that's so he can go kill Jesus. Herod is evil. Now, on the flip side, Zechariah and Elizabeth are super God-following, honoring the rules and regulations of the Lord. They had no children. Seems like bad luck. Now, write this down. This is very important as we piece this thing together. Disadvantages make bad excuses. Disadvantages make bad excuses. Disobedience makes bad disciples. Okay? So here's what we got. They've got disadvantages, right? We already brought it up. They weren't able to have kids. That is a major thing in the ancient world. That's a disadvantage. But you know what? I love the fact that it still says that they were careful to obey God even though they were barren, even though they weren't able to have kids. So they were still very careful about it. They still cared. It was like they had this hope in the future that even though God didn't bless me with this, I'm not mad at God. We still follow. And disadvantages don't make good excuses. So if you're sitting here tonight and you're saying, Jeremy, here are my disadvantages. I was born without the ability to do this, and this. This hasn't worked out my way. This isn't what I want it to be. If you give me a bunch of disadvantages, I'm going to tell you that they're all a bunch of really bad excuses. Sorry. I know that if God calls you to do something and you feel like you're not equipped, that your tendency is to go, no, God, I can't do it. You didn't make me right. But that's a bad excuse. This is what makes bad disciples. Disobedience. Now, that word is heavy, right? Anytime anybody ever says, like, you're disobedient, if you're in a workplace, you can get fired. If you're at your home and your parents say you're very disobedient, you can get punished for that. Like, disobedience is a very heavy thing because it means you know what to do, but choose not to do it. Now, I know that's crazy right now. That's crazy, heavy, like deep, like you're holding on to this. Think about this for a second. If you know what you should be doing and choose not to do it, you have aligned yourself perfectly to become one of the worst disciples in the world. And what are we called to do? Now, here, you ready? Big picture. Take a step back. We've looked at a bunch of trees. Herod was a tree. Barrenness was a tree. Their faithfulness was a tree. All those trees. Now let's look at the forest. What's the last thing that Jesus told his disciples after he was dead, crucified, he was buried, and he was resurrected, and he said, this is what I want you to do to his disciples. He said what? Go. Go. He said go. Go and make disciples. Go and do the same thing that I've been doing with you for the last 3 years. Go and make disciples. Now, does that mean that you go to people and go, hey, get Jesus in your heart. Let me pray for you real quick and then I'll leave. Well, no. Jesus and his disciples, he did life with them. We are supposed to and called to find people that we can do life with. That's why you have friends. That's why you're sitting next to people. That's why you're around people at school, around people at home. You're supposed to do life together. And that's what makes good disciples, is you say, I'm going to be obedient. I'm going to help people. Even though I have no money to give. I'm going to give my time, togetherness. See, look at that. Pulled Family Feud back into it. Okay, here we go. Now let's keep this thing rolling so that we get in on time. All right, it just so happened... I don't know if that's a fit in there. It just so happened that as Zechariah was carrying out his priestly duties before God, working a shift that was assigned to his regiment, listen to this, ready? It came his one turn in life to enter the sanctuary of God and burn incense. Take note of that and we'll come back. The congregation was gathered and praying outside the temple at the hour of the incense offering. Unannounced, an angel of God appeared just to the right of the altar, and Zechariah was paralyzed with fear. What jumped out in that? Is there something significant that jumped out? Go. It's showing up to the right is a symbol of favor. Like if he shows up to your right, this is going to be a strong, powerful prophecy that he's going to share, command the angel. So he shows up to the right of him, and it symbolizes this is going to be a powerful thing that the angel is going to say. Now, what else jumped out to you? Go.
Unannounced.
He's like unannounced, right? And now listen, unannounced. What time did he show up? This was a normal day, okay? He was carrying out his priestly duties just like he always does, and then he uses the term shift. He's just working the shift, okay? Working the shift that he's assigned, and then it came time that this is his one turn in life to enter the sanctuary of God and burn incense. This is his one moment. How old? They were older, remember? Couldn't have babies. They were well along in years. So it came their one moment in life where they go, it's your turn. This will be your first and last and only time to enter into the sanctuary and burn incense. Do you think this is that moment, right? God could have picked anybody else, but he waited. And God's timing is what matters most. We'll take a step back later. Forrest, God's timing is what matters most. He could have picked anybody else. He picked two people who were faithful and obedient and said, this is your moment. He waited until it was his one turn in life and the angel appeared, and the one time he goes in there, I would have been thinking to myself, does this happen to everybody? Like, this is incredible, okay? And write this down. This will help us as we move along through it. One day in your life changes everything. One day is normal. You've lived every day of your life, and nothing incredible has happened yet. And then all of a sudden, one day changes everything. And you know what's the common factor here? The common denominator is that they were faithful. It matters that even if it's been 1,000, 2,000 days of you just going, man, I've been in school forever. Nothing's ever changed. Everything's the same every day. I just go to school and I go home and I just go to bed and I wake up and I do the same thing. If you're faithful, one day it will change everything. But let me break some bad news to you. It won't be in your time. It'll be in God's time. You don't know when. You don't know when God's going to cut into that normality of life. What are we begging for right now? And COVID, we're all begging to go back to the way 2019 was. Let's just go back. How about this? How about we go forward? How about we look forward to after this is gone and we go, let's not go back to the normality of life, but do something else. Let's keep being faithful, waiting for that moment that God cuts into our boring schedule and says, hey, you've been faithful with what I've given you. Now here's something more. One day changes everything. Now look what this looks like. This is what the angel says to him. Word for word, put it behind me. Your prayer has been heard. Elizabeth, your wife, will bear a son by you. He will herald God's arrival in the style and strength of Elijah. Hold on to this right there, okay? This guy, they're very close, right? We're in the New Testament, right? On the right side of the Bible, on the thinner side, because there's less Bible, less books in the New Testament. He knows the Old Testament very well. Right? He's a guy that lives by the rules and regulations of God. He's a guy who's a priest. He's following his priestly order. He knows these words really well. And all of these guys in here, all these guys on the left side of your Bible, are almost like the way we look at the whole Bible, right? Because we're living past it. We're living in the other side of it. And so he's thinking of all these guys in the Old Testament like we think of everybody like they're all superheroes, right? Like Moses? I'm not even thinking like Moses and Abraham. Are you kidding me? Paul? These guys are ridiculous. Peter was like walking on water. I can't relate to that. He looks at all these guys like superheroes, and this angel says, you're going to have a son, and your son is going to bring in God's chosen son. He's going to bring in Jesus, in the style, I love the way it puts it, in the style and strength of Elijah. All of a sudden, these people that you think are superheroes, an angel shows up to you and says, your son is going to bring Jesus into the world, the Messiah that you've been waiting for 400 years. Your son is going to pave the pathway for him in the way that Elijah did. And he's thinking of Elijah as this I can imagine that. And this is what's going to happen. He's going to soften the hearts of the parents to children, kindle devout understanding among hardened skeptics. Now, what does all that mean? He'll get the people ready for God. I love the way he puts it there. Hey, listen. He's going to soften parents' hearts to children so that parents are going to start raising their kids to be Christians. And he's going to even challenge skeptics to rethink. And this is what he's going to do. He's going to get the people ready for God. So write this down. We must always do God's will with God's help. One of the most stressful things for us to ever do is to do what God's called us to do without his help. God is not going to do it for us, but this is what's vital for us to remember, is that if we're going to do what God's called us to do, we have to have his help. And then look at this. Zechariah said to the angel, do you expect me to believe this? I'm an old man and my wife is an old woman. The angel said, because you won't believe me, you'll be unable to say a word until the day of your son's birth. To the day Jesus comes. You'll be unable to speak. Every word I've spoken to you will come true on time, in God's time. Now, why do you think that Zechariah, because he didn't believe this, because he thought of all his disadvantages and didn't believe it, why do you think that that would keep him from being able to speak? There's a little detail, a tree. But when you step back, this is the same thing that happens to all of us. Anytime that you doubt what God can do through you, what's going to happen? Your ability to witness and your testimony, it slams your mouth shut. Your doubts, which we all have, but we have to address those doubts. We all have those doubts of, can God use us? Is God really there? It seems like I pray and it seems like my prayers bounce off the ceiling. Like, is he really there? Those doubts, we have to push through those doubts. You know why? Because write this down, is that doubts will shut us down until our faith returns. Now, does that mean that God gives up on you? No way. No way. You didn't hear that from me. God does not give up on us. But your doubts, what will tend to happen is the doubts, if you let them keep growing in your life and you don't address them, then what's happening is, it's not that the angels are keeping your mouth shut, but you'll naturally just stop talking about your faith. You have so many doubts that you let that just completely shut you down. The first point, disadvantages make for bad excuses. It's all about whether or not you're willing to obey. If you're willing to obey, then one day will change everything in your life. One day, God will show up in the middle and he'll call you to do something and he'll say, are you going to come with me and do this? No. Don't go by yourself. Don't get too far out in front of me. Don't get lazy and fall too far behind. Walk in step with me. And we'll work through all your doubts. And when your faith returns, when you realize that God's been speaking to you this whole time, you'll realize that just one night happens. One holy night takes place. And it changes everything. So let's do this. Let me pray, and I'll have the worship team come back up, and we'll finish out the night, and then I'll give you some last-minute instructions, okay? All right, let's pray. God, we are thankful right now for this moment. Because, God, we know that you can speak through us in just this moment. It could be this moment that changes everything. So, Father, I pray that you would speak into our hearts, change us where we need to be changed, challenge us where we need to be challenged. And I pray that you would show up in a powerful way in these next few moments.